Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, I'm really excited to share with you a question I get asked on my Instagram a lot. So every Wednesday, I put one of those question boxes up to give people the opportunity to ask me questions about whatever they like. And one of those things is advice for getting started in astrology business or gaining clients, etc., etc. So I'm going to discuss with you today I think I've got five top tips to get started in your astrology practice. But before that, I want to let you know of a workshop I've got coming up. It's sort of in progress right now, and it's my annual Aries new moon manifestation workshop. So this could be a good opportunity for you if you are wanting to kind of get your head straight in terms of aligning with your perfected house, your perfected Lord, and setting some intentions for the new moon ahead. So I'll pop the link in the show notes below if you want to join me for that. Not only will you get access to everything that happens this year, but you'll also get those updates every year when I do a bonus module or any updates to the program. So let's get into these tips. Okay, so first let me check my notes. I'm going to give you the juicy one first. I'm not going to do one of those videos where I make you wait to the end for my favorite one. I think they're all good. And I'm giving you some insights that has worked for me. So I can only really speak anecdotally for what has helped me. Now, a lot of people who are, active on social media, what have you, don't really put a lot of effort into their email list. Now, if you don't have an email list attached to your website right now, or even if you don't have a website, you're not collecting email lists, start. Like, honestly, if you get nothing else out of this video, switch me off now and go and sign up to MailChimp or whichever mail listing thing service. I use MailChimp. It's the only one I've used. There's probably others that are better now, but I'm just stuck with that. And it's a free service until I think about 2,000 subscribers. But honestly, and then you'll pay. But honestly, you'll get your email list to the point where every time you send an email, you get paid. Okay, that's what we want. So it will become your pot of gold. So do get an email list started and nurture it. The email address is gold nowadays. Anyone can like you on Instagram or follow you here or there or what have you, but to surrender an email address, to me, really symbolizes that someone is really invested into what you have to say and what you have to offer. So treasure those email addresses. They're very, very precious. What I also love about the email address is that they're not going to get lost in an algorithm. Okay, so you can put a post on your Instagram or wherever, and it'll be gone in less than 24 hours. It'll get lost in those algorithm ethers and never to be seen again. So it's very much a churn and burn platform. Whereas if you send an email, someone may not check it for a week, but it's still going to be sitting there in their inbox, and it's not going to go anywhere until they delete it. Okay, so there is something to be spoken about for the email list. So it's really coveted. It's really your pot of gold. So do get cracking on those email lists. One other tip, I guess, like 1.1, like in addition to that, is what we call in marketing a lead magnet. So that might be a pop-up. When someone visits your site and there's a pop-up, and yes, they're annoying, but they work. But you want to offer something with the pop-up. Now, at present, I've had it up for a while. I'm due to change it. And that's just a downloadable PDF. And it's an article that I wrote about Jupiter that was published several years ago. And people can learn about Jupiter as well as Jupiter in their own sign. Okay, so you might want to write an article or a blog or whatever it is, or something that you can give away for free that doesn't cost you anything. Okay, some people, clothing stores might be like 10% off your first order or what have you, but to me, I want something first. And that's what I offer people first. So you get something from me, and the business person, you don't want it to cost you. You create it once, and that can be your whatever you give away. Okay, so you can pick my brains about that if you like, but I'm sure you get the gist there. Now, if you are a little bit stuck, like, because if your business is new or you're still just kind of growing your wings as an astrologer, what do I write about? Like, so I send an email probably, if I do it once a week, that's a lot. I try for once a week, but sometimes it's more like once a fortnight, but I really don't let it go any longer than that. If you do get stuck for email content, read the emails you already subscribe to. Obviously, I would recommend not astrology ones, but maybe there's a financial advisor that you follow, or somebody in fashion, or somebody in fitness, or what have you. Look at the emails that you get sent that you actually open, okay? Because there's something about what makes you open that you could infuse into your own emails, okay? So you'll get ideas. I do recommend get outside of the astrological, spiritual bubble and go for other industries, okay? And that will set you aside from other astrologers too. Okay, so that's my number one. Please, please, please get your email list happening. Okay. Now, another thing that people will often say is, I've got my website, I've got my social media handles. Why are people not, creating a big tsunami toward me? Don't put all your eggs in the social media basket. Rule number one. I mean, maybe it's because I'm of the Pluto in Libra generation. I'm that sort of the bridge between the analog and the digital there. So I do remember what it was like to do business when email was all we had. There was no YouTube, there was no Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So I think we're all guilty of it, is the feeling that you've got to be seen, the feeling that you've got to be visible all the time to be relevant. And there's you need to make a distinction, and you need to choose what kind of astrology you want to be, or what kind of business do you want to have now, or what vocation you want. Who are you, I guess, is that the ultimate question here, right? And so you have to decide, do you want to be an astrologer that happens to put some content, and I don't like that word, but information, education, entertainment out there into the webs? Or do you want to be an astrologer that creates content, or do you want to be a content creator that utilizes astrology? In my opinion, two very distinct differences. So for me, if I'm a bit lacking on time or energy, whatever the thing is, if I have the choice between an Instagram post or YouTube video or sending an email, I'll send the email. Okay, so case in point, you've got to decide where your energy is going to go, because social media in of itself can be a full-time job, and new trends, new techniques to learn, new platforms. Like, I just refuse to get TikTok. I'm just not going to do it. I refuse to do reels, and that's just me. Like, all the power to you if that's what you really want to do. But I think the point is, where does it end? Okay. And then that distinction between, are you a content creator or you are an astrologer that puts some astro stuff out there? So there's a part of that deciding where your energetic boundary is in the way that you are seen in the world. Okay. All right, I could go on that tangent for a fair while, but I'll end that here because I want to do it pretty quick for you. Okay, number 3 is also, don't put all your eggs in the digital basket. I know it sounds crazy being in the air element and all, but there's more to life than the online space. And particularly when it comes to honing your craft, building a business, or getting clients. And so for many, many years, I would do different events, whether I was living in Sydney or back up here in Brisbane. And that might be workshops, in-person workshops, psychics. I would do psychic markets. You can go to different places and get psychic readings, but I'd go there as an astrologer. And I can't recommend that enough, because you'll only get maybe like 15, 20 minutes with a client. And so you get their birth data, and you don't always get the time, and that's fine. But it really teaches you to not overthink the symbols, and to open up a sort of a channel within you and get really quick and sharp on your delineations without overthinking things. So someone might just come and want what's coming up for the next 12 months, and you can just quickly pull out the transits, or you can see this tricky aspect in their chart, and boom, boom, boom. It gives you a lot of confidence in your technique, practice dealing with people, overcoming objections, asking questions, and just, and you get paid. So why would you not do that? So I really do like that. It's fun, and you can see plenty of people in a day in a busy setting. So there are some places where I know up here where I live, there are events that happen just once a year. You can book a stall there, might cost you, a few $100, what have you, but you'd make that back. Or you can, crystal shops, for example, you could book a room there or be one of their regular readers. So don't think it has to be these like long form 1 hour, 1.5 hour sessions all of the time. Some of the best clients I have over the years that I have now on the regular basis, I started out just giving them like a 15, 20-minute reading. So it gets you away from the computer, out and about with people, and it's a lot of fun. And of course, while you're there, get like draw up a table, like a spreadsheety thing, and you can also be collecting email addresses while you're there. Okay, so I've done things in the past where I'd say, put down your name and address and go into the draw to win a 1.5 hour session with me, or something like that, like a full reading, or whatever promotions I had on at the time. So like the Wellbeing magazine, I give away copies with that, and sell the copies there. You might have some other work that you already do that you can incorporate into the competition. Like maybe you're a massage therapist on the side as well, or something along those lines, and you could do something like that. Like it's just about thinking outside the square, and what most other astrologers aren't doing. So that's always my tip, is look to other industries. What are other people doing? So on my Instagram, I don't see really much astrology at all. Mine is all cats, and it's fitness, powerlifting, and many others, but very little astrology. So crystal shops. I've done workshops in coffee shops, beginners astrology. So you can advertise those things online, do a Saturday morning, maybe I've done a deal where you sign up for the beginners workshop, and it's a package where the person gets maybe a coffee and a cake or a savory thing. And you work that out with the coffee shop owner. So you're bringing people into their business, and they're eating the food and drinking the coffee, and it just creates a buzz for everyone involved. And so I used to do those quite a lot back in the day. So it's fun. Horoscopes. I know not everyone enjoys writing, and not everyone enjoys writing horoscopes, but honestly, I can't recommend them enough. Okay, so because what you pull in with horoscopes is people that may not necessarily be astrologically literate, but they're interested in it, and they're curious about it. And horoscopes is really the gateway drug for your clientele. So, and it's also, it's kind of easy and fun. Horoscopes are a muscle. When you work a muscle, it hurts at first, it takes a long time, but once you start to get a bit of definition and density to the muscle, you just work it a lot. It works easy, right? And so writing is a muscle. So you could do it weekly, you could do it monthly, whatever works for you, whatever you can commit to. And then you blast that on your social media pages, but you you don't post them there, you link it back. So you keep getting that link back to your website with the pop-up, with the lead magnet, and all the other things. So, for example, I do a weekly horoscope on my own website, and it's one that is published by a local newspaper in the USA. And part of my deal when I was invited to, they asked me to write for them. It's a paid gig, which is great, but I always ask for things like syndication. Are you okay if I publish these horoscopes on my website as well? Then, I'm getting paid for work, and I'm getting to use that as a promotion on my website too. So, and it's good for the Google stuff to have fresh content on your website regularly. And of course, up the top, I say, hey, these are published by the Mountain Times in Vermont. So if you do get the opportunity to write horoscopes, take it, but also see if you can use that, that content on your website as well. Now, again, it can be churn and burn. You don't want to do dailies because it's just too much, unless they pay well. Or weeklies is okay, but then you'll want to make it a bit short. So in my business, I do write dailies. I also write weeklies, and I write annuals. I don't think I have any monthlies at the moment. I have done monthlies in the past. And then once I got this weekly gig, I just ditched the monthlies and changed them to weekly. So it works really great. Now, my fifth tip is, so the first tip is the email list. The first and only tip you probably need. 2, don't put all your eggs in the social media basket. Decide whether you want to be an astrologer who creates content, even though I hate that word, or a content creator that utilizes astrology. So when you decide that from the get-go, you don't become a content creating machine and burn yourself out, because I'm seeing that happen to people. So this is why I'm giving you the Auntie Cass Tough Love talk tonight. Decide what kind of astrologer do you want to be? What kind of business do you want to run? And where do you want that energy to go? Okay. Markets, tip number 3, don't put don't put all your eggs in that social media basket, which sort of don't put all your eggs in the digital basket. So go out there and do in-person stuff, coffee shops, crystal shops, markets, what have you. You can go solo, set up your own tent if you want, or you can jump on board with other people. I've done both. I've had my own booth in places which have been booming, and I've also done had collaborations and alliances with other people as well. It's fun. Weekends, it's a bit, gypsy like in the sense that you go in different parts of town, you're meeting other psychics, other aligned people, like psychics or different modalities that are similar to us. And of course, that leads me then to my final point, then of course the horoscopes. And then my final point is what I call B2B marketing. So business to business. So you do want to develop relationships with other businesses. So this could be the psychic, the massage therapist, the naturopath, the coffee shop owner, where you buy your coffee from, what have you. So you don't need to keep it sort of linear in this kind of esoteric healing arts, witchy stuff. It can, be in the mainstream too. And that's kind of easier to do nowadays because astrology is a lot more popular or accepted. I'm going to put that in inverted commas, but that's another rant, than it's been in the past. So it has perhaps a little bit more street cred in the mainstream than what it had in the previous, previous sort of eras of time, and even 10 years ago. So there's plenty of opportunities there. So you might want to get referral programs, maybe exchange business cards, or do some kind of arrangement with another person. You might give them a reading, they give you a massage, what have you, you get to know each other, and maybe you can create a package together where Mother's Day, for instance, a reading and a massage, or things like that. So I guess that sort of concludes my 5 top tips, although I think it was 6 all up, the mindset stuff, which is sort of what we cover a little bit in the new moon manifestation workshop. But honestly, mindset is beyond the realm of this video. I wanted to give you some more practical, handy advice. I hope it helps. I also hope it helps you if you feel that you're just stuck creating really churn and burn Instagram content, and which we're just getting censored and faked anyway. So plagiarized fake accounts, scammers, what have you. So that's, again, I'm in a bit of a mood. I'm not gonna lie. I've been attacked by scammers on Facebook. I'm not Facebook. I'm barely on Facebook nowadays, but Instagram. And I'm like, so anyway, point being is, your social media is a tool. Sorry, it's just very hot in Brisbane this evening. It's a tool. Please don't put all those eggs in that basket, but utilize it in ways that can support you, as opposed to just steal your soul. Okay. So I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you've done that really works. Or if you've got any tips that's helped inspire you to push your business out there, or try some new things that maybe you're like, should I do this? Should I not? But get out there, write some horoscopes, do some markets, do some readings. And I really hope this has helped you. So until next time, I hope you have a really great Aries season and the Aries new moon coming up.